Hello there, and thank you very much for joining us today in this new Azure Portal how-to video. Today, we'll learn how to apply budgets to your subscriptions to control the cost of your resources. And for that, we have Adam Weiss, who is joining us to show us all about that today. So thank you very much for joining us, Adam.
Thanks, Leon. Great to be here. Let me give you a quick overview on budgets, and then I'll go in and show you how to create your first budget. So budgets is a tool that allows you to set thresholds for your spending. You can set it on a subscription or any of the other scopes that are applicable to cost management. Once you've set that threshold, budgets can then alert you as your spending is approaching the threshold so that you have time to take action in response to the spending that you're accruing. Budgets also has the ability to implement automation in response to you meeting those thresholds. So for example, if I've set a budget for $500 and I set a threshold for $400, I could implement automation such as shutting down virtual machines once I hit that $400 threshold. So let's jump into it. So here from the subscriptions view, you can see that there's the budgets experience, which is accessible straight from the subscriptions blade. Here you can see a list of all of the different budgets that I currently have configured. I'm going to go and create a new one here. So first, when creating a budget, it's always important to think about what's the proper threshold and what do I want to be monitoring. So I'm going to go over to our cost analysis tool. Here you can see I've generated a visual here of the current month's spending, and you can see here this is a daily view of how my costs are accumulating each day. And looking at this, I can see that the hosting environment's resource type is currently accumulating the vast majority of the expenditures in my subscription each day. So I'm going to go and create a budget, and I'm going to target it specifically at this hosting environment's resource type so that I can monitor my spending and make sure that since this is the primary driver of the cost, that it doesn't get out of control. So let's go back to this budgets page. In the creation experience, you can see here that I can add filters if I want. So specifically in that view, I was looking at the hosting environment's resource type. So that would be something that I would want to filter my costs on. So I will filter down to resource type hosting environments. And then that will create the budget specifically on those types of resources and the costs that are accruing with them. Another great thing to point out is as you are adjusting the filters, we have a nice graph here to kind of show you how your spending has been accumulating over the course of the past several months and our forecast for those costs in the future. And so you can see here, here's the kind of a recommended budget line based on the maximum forecast that you have that we think would be a good threshold for you to put on this particular set of spending. So you name your budget. We'll name this Adam Test Budget. You set the time period. We're going to create a monthly budget that will expire on July 31st, 2021. And then our suggested amount is $1,763. From there, this is where we go. So we've set the threshold. Now we're going to go and configure how the alerting works. So I'm going to create a 90% alert on this budget, and I will email myself when I want that, when the budget hits 90%. Another thing we can do as well, if we want to implement some automation, we can configure an action group to go and take action when we hit that 80% threshold that I've indicated right here. So in this case, I have an action group called Cummins, which will send an email. One of the great things about action groups is that it can not only send emails, but it can also do things like fire off webhooks or call Azure functions, which can essentially do anything you want in response to the budget threshold being met. Now from there, I'll go and create that budget. And I'll be able to be notified at 90%, and at 80%, we'll take some automation and go do some stuff. So yeah, that's been Azure Budgets.
Thank you very much, Adam. And thanks every one of you for watching. Please try it out in your Azure subscriptions. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment in the video, follow us on Twitter, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much.